Oh, did you see that Elon Musk got fined a whole bunch because Jack Smith wanted to subpoena Trump's Twitter account and he couldn't get access to it, so that they just fined Elon Musk, but eventually capitulated. That was what was dominating the headlines yesterday. Meanwhile, this one, it popped up for a second, but then eventually it came back around to all being about Trump. Oh, look at that. One of those dastardly Trump supporters was making threats against the president. But then you just end up reading a little bit deeper into this, and it's like, wow, this is one of the most shocking things that you're likely to ever see. Trump supporter Craig Robertson. Now, old Craig Robertson is, do you know what kind of physical condition Craig Robertson is in? Well, we'll ultimately get to that. Shot dead in FBI raid linked to threats against Biden and top Democrats. So this guy was expressing his freedom of speech. Highly likely because the Brandenburg test when it comes to actionable threats of violence is very, very, very high. So yeah, this guy was just, talking shop around his place, and then the FBI just decided to kick open some doors and split the dome of a 75-year-old man who needed a walker to get around. Yeah, the FBI, man, really essential to keeping our freedoms in check. A Utah man was shot and killed by the FBI agents during a Wednesday morning raid linked to an assassination threat against President Biden and other top Democrats, including Vice President Kamala Harris and Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg. How is he actually going to accomplish this shit? Okay, because you say big, lofty threats like assassination proclamations. I'm fucking sure. Deadly shooting occurred in Provo at around 6:15 in the morning when the feds tried to arrest and search warrants at a home in the FBI office of the Salt Lake City, told the Post in a statement. Yeah, you try to kick open the door of somebody who you believe is armed and dangerous at 6:15 in the morning? Yeah, I'd imagine there was probably some fire going on, just to be completely honest. Federal complaint obtained by the Post from the Utah U.S. Attorney's Office identified the suspect. At the center of the probe that prompted Wednesday's raid was 75-year-old Craig Robertson. The feds and Joe Biden scared by somebody who is 5 years the junior of the president. What the fuck is going on? An agency spokesperson confirmed that one person struck by gunfire had died, but she did not share any further details about the agent-involved shooting. The FBI takes all shooting incidents involving our agents of the task force members seriously. Yes, of course. And he was one of those MAGA extremists, and how dare him try to defend his property from a politicized paramilitary op of the Biden administration. Fuckers. In accordance with FBI policy, the shooting incident is under review by the FBI Inspector Division. Robertson, who described himself on social media, posed as a MAGA Trumper. I do the exact same shit because, yeah, I fuck with Trump. Not like that. Pause. But also, I'm 33. He's 75. He probably fucking boomer posts on Facebook and shit like that, okay? Yeah, but he was facing counts of interstate threats. Yeah, exactly. Probably saying such nefarious things as somebody should take care of Alvin Bragg, and if that bitch Kamala Harris talks as repetitively as she does there, has she already suffered a stroke, or should somebody facilitate something? That would at least explain the mental retardation. Like, is that what he's talking about? Because that's hardly a threat, but the FBI was investigating, so that means it's serious. We trust the government around these parts. A threat against the president and influencing, impeding. What did he also impede? The certification of the 2020 presidential election? Was he also, depriving people of their right to vote and every other fucking stupid thing that this shitty DOJ can try to get away with, impeding and retaliating against federal law enforcement officers by threat? Get the fuck off of my property? Not exactly a threat, but hey man, they'll just go ahead and spice it up as best they can because he's dead, can't share his side of the story. But yeah, oh my god, he threatened, he made threats, Craig Robertson. Okay, so here are his threats, I guess. Okay, he has a ghillie suit. Obviously, this guy, he has some prior experience with stuff, but okay, just showing, okay. Camo rifle and a ghillie suit. Okay, fantastic. From back in 2009. Yeah, real credible. 2009. Fucking 14 years ago. 14 years ago. And then you just decide to act on this now, huh? Huh, interesting. Yeah, all the fucking Fed boys that went down there. Yeah, to a guy. Need to raid his house because the president's gonna be he's gonna be in Salt Lake City, Utah. And then send all the girls to go clean up the shit. 39-page complaint included numerous unhinged Facebook posts made by Robertson threatening to assassinate Biden and other senior Democrats, including Harris, Bragg, New York Attorney General Letitia James, U.S. Attorney General Merrick Garland, and California Governor Gavin Newsom. Yeah, it just sounds like this guy has a thing for fucking running off at the mouth. But again, what the fuck was he going to do? He's 75 years old. Are these actionable threats? Or he owns firearms. Yeah, you fucking dork. Like how many other people in the country? Shut up. In a status update posted earlier this week, Robertson, an Air Force veteran, there it is, suggested that he was planning to make an attempt on Biden's life. I'm fucking sure when the commander-in-chief visited the Beehive State later this week. I hear Biden's coming to Utah. Oh my God, that means he's definitely setting up for something. Shut up. Wonderful dream. I dreamed I was in a dark corner of Washington, D.C. parking garage. I was standing over the body of U.S. Attorney General Merrick Garland with a bullet hole, a dead center in his forehead. In my hand was a suppressed Smith & Wesson M&P 9mm, smoke wafting from the muzzle, Star-Spangled Banner playing quietly in the distance. I thought to myself, what an amazing patriotic moment as shivers of liberty and freedom swelled from my heart for our amazingly great country. That's an actionable threat, huh? Interesting. He's detailing a dream that he had. He's a bit fucking unhinged, and I think Craig needs to find a different hobby, but to have the feds come and kick down your door over something like that, nah, it doesn't quite pass the smell test. The FBI tried to interfere with my free speech right in my driveway. My 45 ACP was ready to smoke him. Yeah, he has a right to defend his property. I'm not too sure what castle doctrine is in Utah. That's a threat against the FBI. Show up to my property unannounced and fuck around and find out. Okay. Digging out my old ghillie suit and cleaning the dust off my M24 sniper rifle. Welcome, buffoon-in-chief. Okay. Yeah, that might require a stern talking to, but again, not an actionable threat. FBI agent wrote the complaint filed Tuesday seeking a warrant for Robertson arrest, and the suspect presented a knowing and willfully true threat to kill or cause injury to President Biden. Yeah, I don't fucking think so. Nothing passed the smell test on that one. Nothing would even come close to approximating an actionable threat. But again, this is the FBI, and this is Biden's DOJ after all, and heaven forbid you question Biden about anything pertaining to any of his corrupt goings-ons. Like, Biden says, I never talked business. We know you talked business with Hunter, by the way. With Hunter as he finally addresses the Devon Archer testimony, which, yeah, not that I've been slacking on it. I've just been waiting for it to conclude and for us to get anything concrete when it comes to this. Because Devon Archer, on his first day of testimony, the bombshell revelation that Joe Biden was, on at least 10 different calls. Well, Archer, Hunter, we're discussing Ukraine, China, and many other places. But we'll get to that right now, shall we? An irritated President Joe Biden again insisted never talked about business with his son Hunter as he finally addressed allegations he was involved in lucrative foreign deals. Biden snapped at Fox News' Peter Doocy for asking a lousy question about the damning claims he was used to peddle influence when he was the vice president. Doocy confronted the president and said, there's testimony now where one of your son's former business associates is claiming that you were on a speakerphone. We're talking a lot of business. A White House correspondent was referring to the claim by Archer. Yeah, talking about all that stuff. Oh, in person or present at 20 different times while Hunter was meeting with associates to finalize bringing in millions. Biden responded, I never talk business. I knew you'd have a lousy question. Why is that a lousy question? Because it's not true. Could have just said that. I think he doth protest too much. His response came hours after Republicans released a new bank statement detailing $20 million in payouts from Russia, China, and Kazakhstan to the Biden family and associates, and Joe Biden knew absolutely nothing about it? Come on, man. We're not that fucking stupid. We're not as dumb as Joe Biden thinks we are, but he's as dumb as we think he is. Hunter's former business partner, Archer, testified to the House Oversight Committee last week that then Vice President had been present on speakerphone or in person around 20 times over 10 years while Hunter was meeting with associates. Archer did not claim to have ever heard Joe Biden discussing business, but said Hunter would use his father as a flex, and hearing the voice of the Vice President on speed dial was enough to sell the brand to foreign executives. I definitely can say at particular dinners or meetings, he knew that there was business associates, Archer told Fox News' Tucker Carlson last week.
Fox News' Tucker Carlson last week in an interview following his testimony. Now, I think Tucker Carlson would have been on his Twitter show on that one, and I know that those interviews are out there, so you got some bad information, my guys. I don't know if it was an orchestrated call-in or not. It certainly was powerful, though, because, you're sitting with a foreign business person, and you hear the vice president's voice. That's prize enough. Wow, imagine that. Just a whole bunch of, well, hey, you can work with me, and, hey, my father is, he's just one call away, and hey, want to say hi to him? He is the vice president, after all. That's pretty cool. And, hey, man, I consider us close like friends, right? And, hey, there's a lot of good that can happen when you're doing business with friends, okay? And you know what? Hey, we could be close like family, and father's a really cordial man. Here, just please, just talk with him for a couple of seconds. Sometimes there was a call was coming in, a speaker would go on, Archer said, detailing conversations. You understand DC, right? So the power to have that access in the conversation. It's not in a scheduled conference call, and that's a part of your family. That's like the pinnacle of power in DC. He had told the committee of the conversations, if his dad calls him at dinner, and he picks up the phone, and there's a conversation. And the conversation is generally about the weather, and, it's... what it's like in Norway, Paris, wherever they may be. The investment and the policy advisor firm Archer and Hunter Biden led together Rosemont Seneca. Hunter led on government regulatory issues, said Archer. Did Hunter have regulation expertise? Asked Carlson. I think he led a team that did that, said Archer, noting that the work Hunter did was primarily knowing who to call exactly and who had the biggest network of influential people at their access. Well, that would have been Hunter. Hence why he would have been on those panels. And how does he have access to that? Well, just by quinky of a goddamn dink, one of the first guys on speed dial. Well, you could just go ahead and talk to him yourself. But that's a stupid question if you were to ask him about that. And don't you dare try to ask any more questions, because did you see what happened to Craig Robertson? Heaven forbid we find any spicy comments he made about our elitists in the White House. Unfucking believable. But with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.